The deception falls. The Siraxian warship Dominant will hung in Earth's orbit like a metallic predator, its angular hull reflecting the distant sunlight as smaller attack vessels swarmed around it. From the bridge, Fleet Commander Verex observed the blue-green planet below with 6 cold, calculating eyes, their violet hue reflecting on the tactical displays. Another orbital defense platform neutralized. Commander reported his second-in-command, Officer Krez. Their outer defense grid is now operating at merely 23% capacity. Verex's exoskeletal plates clicked softly as he shifted in his command chair. The humans continue to disappoint. 3 weeks of engagement, and their resistance crumbles precisely, as our simulations predicted. He gestured at the holographic display of Earth with one of his 4 arms. Their primitive weaponry cannot penetrate our shields, and their tactical responses follow predictable patterns. Proceed with the next phase of bombardment. Yes, Commander. Targeting military installations in what they call the Eastern Hemisphere. In the underground bunker beneath what remained of Geneva, Commander Maya Thorne watched the tactical displays with grim determination. The room was dimly lit, emergency power having kicked in after the last bombardment took out the primary grid. Around her, the remaining members of Earth's Defense Council looked haggard, their faces illuminated by the red emergency lighting. The Siraxians have taken out our last Pacific defense platform, reported Colonel Wei. North American ground defenses are holding, but Asian command centers report critical damage. Casualties? Maya asked, her voice steady despite the circumstances. Approaching 12 million globally, primarily in coastal megacities, Wei replied, his voice cracking slightly. Civilian evacuation to subterranean shelters is at 64% completion. General Rodriguez slammed his fist on the table. We've tried diplomacy. We've tried conventional warfare. We've even attempted surrender negotiations. These 6-eyed bastards won't stop until we're colonized or exterminated. Maya studied the projection of Earth, watching as red indicators of Siraxian attacks spread like a disease across the continents. Then we have no choice, she said quietly. Initiate the Prometheus Protocol. The room fell silent. Several council members exchanged uneasy glances. Commander Thorne, Admiral Kang said carefully, Prometheus has never been field-tested. We don't know if. We built it to work, Maya interrupted. For 200 years, we've maintained the facade while developing it in secret. If there was ever a time to use it, it's now. She typed a complex sequence into her command console, then pressed her palm against the biometric scanner. Authorization. Thorne, Maya E Command Level Alpha. Execute Prometheus Protocol. Phase 1. The console hummed as it processed her authorization. A new display appeared, showing a global network of previously hidden installations lighting up across the planet. What exactly are we doing? Asked a younger officer at the back of the room. Maya looked up, her eyes reflecting the glow of the activation sequence. We're dropping the act, Lieutenant. For 2 centuries, humanity has deliberately hidden our true technological capabilities from the galactic community. We presented ourselves as a developing species with modest technological advancement to avoid being seen as a threat. We've been playing by their rules, limiting our development to acceptable technologies. She gestured to the new display showing hundreds of hidden facilities activating worldwide. Meanwhile, we've been developing technologies the Galactic Council banned millennia ago. Quantum weaponry, consciousness-integrated combat systems, gravitic manipulation engines. We presented ourselves as good galactic citizens while preparing for exactly this scenario. On the dominant will, Officer Krez suddenly straightened. Commander, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the planet's surface. Verex turned from contemplating his imminent victory. What kind of signatures? Unknown, sir. They don't match any known human technology. Readings are coming from. Krez hesitated. Sir, they're emanating from everywhere, every continent, even their ocean floors. Impossible, Verex snapped. Their technological capability is well documented. They barely achieved fusion power 50 years ago. Nevertheless, sir, these energy signatures air. Krez was interrupted by an alarm blaring across the bridge. Sir, our forward combat vessels are reporting system failures. Something is penetrating our shields without triggering our defensive countermeasures. Varric stood, his exoskeleton clicking in agitation. Put it on the main display. The holographic projection shifted to show the lead Siraxian vessels. To Varric's horror, small objects, barely visible against the void of space, were passing directly through their supposedly impenetrable shields as if they weren't there. Upon contact with the hull, these objects melted into the ship's structure. Magnify, he ordered. The image zoomed in to reveal what appeared to be microscopic machines, billions of them, swarming over the hulls of the Siraxian ships like metallic insects. Nanoavenry, Varric whispered. But that's impossible. That technology has been banned since the Mrexan catastrophe. The humans couldn't possibly have. Sir, we're losing contact with forward vessels. Their systems are shutting down. Life support, weapons, engines, everything. On Earth, Maya watched as the first phase of Prometheus took effect. Nanite swarms deployed and functioning at optimal capacity, reported a technician. Target vessels are being neutralized without destruction. Begin Phase 2, Maya ordered. Prepare the quantum displacement field. In orbit, Varric watched helplessly as his forward fleet went dark, ship after ship losing power and drifting dead in space. Retreat, he ordered. Pull back to defensive positions. All vessels maintain distance from infected ships. Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the surface, Krez reported. It's being broadcast on all frequencies, including our secure channels. How could they access our? Varric began, then cut himself off. Put it through. The main display shifted to show Commander Maya Thorne, her expression calm and determined. This is Commander Maya Thorne of Earth's Unified Defense Command, she began. Your unprovoked attack on our world has resulted in millions of civilian casualties and widespread destruction. Despite multiple attempts at diplomatic resolution, you have chosen to continue your aggression. Maya leaned forward, her eyes hardening. Until now, we have limited our response to conventional defensive measures, adhering to galactic regulations regarding acceptable warfare. That ends today. She gestured, and the display split to show the disabled Siraxian ships. What you're witnessing is merely the first phase of our response, a fraction of our actual capabilities. We have been deliberately concealing our true technological development from the galactic community for centuries. Varric's mandibles clicked in disbelief. You expect me to believe your primitive species has been hiding advanced technology. Our intelligence reports were exactly what we wanted you to see, Maya interrupted. For 200 years, we've maintained a careful deception, presenting ourselves as a developing civilization, while secretly advancing technologies the Galactic Council banned long ago. She paused, her expression grave. This is humanity's final warning. Cease your attacks, withdraw your forces from our solar system, or we stop pretending to be civilized. You have 6 Earth hours to comply. The transmission cut off, leaving Varric staring at the disabled ships of his once mighty fleet. Sir, Krez said quietly, what if they're not bluffing? Varric turned to his tactical officer. Analyze those nanite weapons. Find a countermeasure. And prepare the second wave of attack vessels. If the humans think a few disabled ships will force our retreat, they'll soon learn the true might of the Siraxian Empire. Back in the Janiga bunker, Maya closed the communication channel and turned to her council. They won't retreat, she said with certainty. Begin preparations for Phase 3. If they force our hand, we'll show them exactly what humanity is capable of when we stop playing by the rules. Admiral Kang nodded grimly. The quantum displacement fleet is standing by at the dark side lunar base. Consciousness transfer combat units are ready for deployment, and the gravity manipulation platforms are at full charge. Maya looked at the globe display, watching as red Siraxian attack indicators continued to spread across Earth's surface. Millions more would die before this was over, But when humanity emerged from this conflict, the galaxy would never again underestimate them. 200 years of deception, she said softly. After today, the mask comes off forever. As the countdown began for the Siraxian deadline, deep beneath the surface of Mars, automated factories that had been hidden for centuries began producing advanced weaponry at an accelerated pace. Across the solar system, cloaked installations powered up systems that defied conventional physics, and in the Kuiper Belt, enormous engines ignited on asteroids that had been secretly converted to weaponized projectiles decades earlier. Humanity had played the long game, patiently accepting their role as galactic underdogs while preparing for the day when they would need to reveal their true power. That day had arrived. Unbridled humanity. On the Siraxian command vessel Dominant Will, Fleet Commander Verex paced the bridge, his exoskeletal plates clicking with each agitated step. Holographic displays surrounding him showed the disabled forward fleet, 37 warships now drifting helplessly in Earth's orbit, their systems completely compromised by the human nanite swarms. Report. He barked at his science officer. Science Officer Melix's antennae twitched nervously. Analysis of the human nanite technology indicates it's at least 3 centuries beyond their documented capabilities, Commander. They appear to be quantum entangled, allowing them to bypass our shields entirely. Impossible, Verex hissed. The Galactic survey assessed them just 30 years ago. They were still using primitive combustion engines for atmospheric flight. The evidence suggests they deliberately misrepresented their development. Melix replied cautiously. The nanites contain manufacturing signatures dating back over 100 years. Verex's violet eyes narrowed. And the ultimatum deadline. 1 hour remaining, sir. The commander turned to his tactical display. The second wave is in position. Yes, Commander. 46 vessels, including our heaviest bombardment platforms. They await your order beyond the humans' detection range. Verex contemplated the blue planet on his display. These humans are bluffing. They may have one advanced weapon system they've kept hidden, but no species could conceal their entire technological development. Their cities, their infrastructure, their visible spacecraft, all confirm their primitive status. He straightened, decision made. Prepare to launch the second wave the moment their deadline expires. Target their population centers. Let's see how committed they are to this charade when their major cities burn. Deep beneath the lunar surface, Commander Maya Thorne stood in the hidden command center of humanity's true military headquarters. Unlike the primitive bunker in Geneva, deliberately maintained as part of humanity's facade, this facility represented Earth's actual technological capabilities. The Lunar Command Center was a marvel of quantum computing and holographic interfaces. Officers worked at stations that responded to thought patterns as much as physical interaction. The main strategic display showed not just Earth and its immediate surroundings, but the entire solar system in real-time detail that would have been impossible with the technology humanity publicly acknowledged possessing. The Siraxians are positioning their second wave, reported Strategic Officer Eliza Chen, her hands moving through the holographic interface. Thermal signatures indicate weapons charging. They're not backing down. Maya nodded, unsurprised. The Galactic survey profile on Siraxians indicated they respect only visible strength. They interpreted our restraint as weakness. She turned to her communications officer. Send the coded activation to all Prometheus protocol assets across the system. Full deployment. Throughout the solar system, hidden installations that had remained dormant for decades suddenly activated. On Mars, massive hangar doors disguised as natural geological features slid open, revealing advanced spacecraft unlike anything Earth had publicly acknowledged developing. Within the rings of Saturn, camouflaged defense platforms powered up weapon systems. On several of Jupiter's moons, enormous energy collectors began channeling power to long-hidden gravitational manipulation arrays. As the Siraxian deadline expired, Verex gave the order. Launch the second wave. Show these deceptive primates the consequence of threatening the Siraxian Empire. The 46 vessels of the second wave accelerated toward Earth, their weapon systems fully charged. Varex watched with satisfaction as they approached the disabled first wave vessels, carefully maneuvering around them. "Sir," his sensor officer called out suddenly, "we're detecting unusual energy readings from Earth's moon." "What kind of?" Varex began, but his question was cut short as the space between Earth and the approaching Syraxian fleet suddenly twisted. There was no other word for it. Space itself seemed to fold, creating a shimmering distortion that stretched across the path of the approaching fleet. Before Varex could issue new orders, the lead vessels of the second wave made contact with this distortion and vanished. "What happened?" Varex demanded, his voice rising. "Where are they?" "Unknown, sir," the sensor officer replied, mandibles clicking frantically. "The space-time readings suggest some form of quantum displacement field. They've been relocated." "Relocated where?" The answer came a moment later as alarms blared across the bridge. "Sir, our vessels are reappearing around Syraxian Prime. They'd been transported across 17 light-years instantaneously." Varex stared in disbelief at the tactical display, which now showed his attack fleet scattered in disarray around his species' homeworld. "That's impossible. No known technology can create stable wormholes across such distances." "Sir," his communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving another transmission from Earth." The main display shifted to show Commander Maya Thorne again, now standing in a command center far more advanced than the primitive bunker she transmitted from earlier. "Fleet Commander Varex," she began without preamble, "as you can see, your second wave has been redirected. We've demonstrated our quantum displacement technology by relocating your vessels to your home system. They are intact and their crews unharmed, for now." Maya's expression remained calm, but there was steel in her voice. "We could have sent them into your sun, or a black hole, or simply torn them apart at the quantum level. Instead, we chose to show restraint. Again." She gestured, and the display split to show dozens of previously hidden human installations across the solar system activating. For over 2 centuries, humanity has maintained a careful deception. We presented ourselves as a developing species with limited technology, while preparing for encounters like this one. From the lunar surface, a fleet of sleek vessels unlike any Earth had publicly acknowledged began rising. Hundreds of them, their designs clearly incorporating technology far beyond what humanity had shared with the galactic community. "The technology you're witnessing violates at least 8 different Galactic Council prohibitions," Maya continued. "Quantum displacement, consciousness-integrated combat systems, gravitational manipulation, nanite weaponry. We developed them all in secret, knowing the Council would deem us too dangerous to join the galactic community if we revealed our true capabilities." On the dominant will, Varex watched in stunned silence as the human fleet assembled. Their design was elegant yet clearly built for warfare, incorporating technology that should have been centuries beyond human development. "Your attack on Earth was based on a fundamental misunderstanding," Maya continued. "You believed you were subjugating a primitive species barely capable of interplanetary travel. In reality, you were provoking a civilization that has spent 200 years preparing for this exact scenario." She leaned forward, her eyes hard. "This is no longer a warning but a promise. Any further aggression against Earth will be met with the full force of humanity's unbridled technological might. We will no longer pretend to be less than we are." The transmission cut off, leaving Varex staring at the human fleet that now surrounded his command vessel. His tactical officer broke the silence. "Sir, analysis confirms their vessels incorporate technology far beyond their reported capabilities. Energy readings suggest weapons that could easily penetrate our strongest shields." Varex's mandibles clicked slowly as he processed this paradigm-shifting information. "Open a channel to the Supreme Command, and establish communication with the human commander." Within hours, representatives from the Galactic Council arrived via quantum jump technology they had claimed was theoretical. The emergency session held aboard the Council vessel Arbiter was tense, with accusations flying from multiple species. "You deliberately deceived the galactic community," declared the Vorkun representative, its tentacles waving in agitation. "For centuries, you presented yourselves as a developing species while secretly violating the most sacred technological prohibitions." Maya Thorne, now representing Earth in her capacity as defense commander, remained composed. "We deceived no one. We simply didn't share everything we knew. There is no galactic law requiring full technological disclosure. Such technologies were banned for the safety of all species," insisted the Moravian delegate. "The quantum wars nearly destroyed civilization 5,000 years ago." "Technologies aren't inherently destructive," Maya countered. "Intentions determine whether they become weapons or tools. We develop these capabilities defensively, revealing them only when directly threatened with extinction." The Syraxian representative, a high-ranking diplomat dispatched after Varex's report, spoke next. "The Syraxian Empire acknowledges its miscalculation regarding Earth's capabilities. We propose an immediate cessation of hostilities and withdrawal of all forces." "Accepted," Maya replied without hesitation. "But understand this applies to all species. Earth will no longer tolerate being treated as a developing world or potential conquest." The Council's elder, an ancient Thryxian, whose species had survived 3 galactic wars, leaned forward on gnarled limbs. "What you've done changes the balance of power across known space. Such technological advancement, kept hidden for centuries. The implications are enormous." "We understand," Maya acknowledged, "which is why we're proposing a new arrangement." She activated a holographic display showing Earth's solar system, now clearly defended by technology that rivaled or exceeded anything in known space. Earth will remain independent, neither seeking conquest nor accepting subjugation. We will share certain technologies, medical advances, sustainable energy systems, agricultural improvements, that benefit all species without destabilizing security. She paused, letting her next words carry their full weight. "But our defensive systems remain our own. Any aggression against Earth or human colonies will trigger an immediate response using our full capabilities, without restraint." The Council chambers fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had effectively changed the galactic order in a single day, revealing themselves not as the primitive developing species they'd pretended to be, but as one of the most technologically advanced civilizations in known space. "We will need time to consider these developments," the elder finally said. "Take all the time you need," Maya replied. "But be aware that the deception is over. Humanity will no longer pretend to be less than we are." 3 months later, Maya stood in the observation dome of the newly public Lunar Command Center, watching Earth rotate slowly below. The last of the Syraxian ships had departed the system weeks ago, and the Galactic Council had grudgingly acknowledged Earth's new status as an independent power. Admiral Kang joined her at the viewport. "The Prometheus Protocol worked better than we anticipated. Not a single additional human casualty after activation." Maya nodded. 200 years of preparation. Sometimes I wondered if we were being paranoid, hiding our true capabilities for so long. "Paranoia that saved our species," Kang noted. "The Syraxians would have reduced Earth to a mining colony if they'd succeeded. And now we have formal non-aggression treaties with 17 species, including the Syraxians. The Galactic Council has revised our status and is reviewing their first contact protocols." Kang smiled slightly. "And 6 different species have requested technology exchange programs." Maya turned from the viewport. "Grant them. Limited exchanges, focused on beneficial technologies. We need to show we can be trusted now that our true nature is revealed." "And the military technologies?" "Those remain restricted. The quantum displacement system, the nanite defensive grid, the consciousness integration tech, those stay classified." She met Kang's gaze directly. "We stopped pretending to be less advanced, but that doesn't mean we show all our cards at once." As Maya looked back at the beautiful blue-green planet below, She reflected on humanity's journey. For centuries, they had hidden their true potential, playing the role of the developing civilization, while secretly preparing for the day when that facade would need to fall away. That day had come, and humanity had emerged stronger for it. They had revealed enough of their true capabilities to ensure their security while maintaining certain advantages in reserve, a balance of openness and caution that would define human relations with the galactic community for generations to come. "We've stepped onto the galactic stage as equals, not supplicants," Maya said quietly. "Now we need to prove we deserve to be there." The deception was over. Humanity had stopped pretending to be civilized by alien standards and had defined civilization on their own terms, terms that would reshape the galaxy for centuries to come.